Hello, Stars! My name is Blue, and today we are lost in a Homestuck Epilogue. Technically, I should be recording Morrowind and putting it out, but it's late, and I don't feel like doing that right now. So we're just gonna read a chapter or two of the Homestuck Epilogue. Now, last time we left off on this, we've just finished a prologue, and I kept asking you the question, meat or candy? I made it seem like a big deal, like one or the other. Obviously, we're gonna be reading both. But with our votes that came in, our singular vote, we are going to be starting with meat, I believe. It's been a while since I looked at that comment. It's been a while since I posted anything. Meat, yes. Meat! Let's get on with it. Ow. Meat. Epilogue 1. Meat 1. Meat was definitely the right choice, you think, as grease drips down your chin. The meat is cold and undercooked, so you have to grab it with both hands while you rend it apart with your incisors. Incisors? It bursts in chunks, fills your mouth with blood and your throat with mangled knots of gristle and long strands of muscle fiber. You take bites almost too big to swallow, so big that you choke on the meaty mulch and hawk up some of it into your nasal cavity. You sneeze out a gooey rope of phlegm and flesh. You stop for a moment to wipe your face, but your chin is still slippery after you wipe the mess away. Slivers of meat catch between your teeth as you masticate with bestial enthusiasm. You use your thumbnail to fish them out. That's one way to eat in front of your friends, I guess. Finish up. Some of the blood has coagulated on the surface of a plate. You grab it from Calliope and lick it clean. She watches you, calm, placid, alien. Roxy has leaned forward to scrutinize your slovenly feasting, her eyes wide and intense. You stare back at them with your hands coated in We're finally getting to words that I don't know that well. Uncourteous organic matter and flecks of seared skin. The blood on your hands is so thin that it's like oily Kool-Aid pulling in your palm. Think suddenly about all the many horrible crimes committed by Lord English. God, that guy is the worst. The memory of his stupid face and his terrible art and all the abominable misfortune he has caused across multiple universes and timelines makes your milk start to curdle in your stomach. The meat sits there like a big lardy mass, a black hole bursting the universe apart around it. You feel like rocks are turning in your gut, and your mouth begins to water, hot and sour. The flavor of the afternoon air changes around you. It's too hot, almost suffocating. You swallow back a mouthful of pungent bile as your eyes swim and lose focus. You know what you must do. I know what I must do. Of course you know. What kind of guy would you be if you stayed here, when you're the only one in existence capable of completing the grim task? A pretty shitty one who just sneezed up a chunk of raw meat in front of a girl you used to have a crush on. I had to go back and kill Lord English. You sure? I think so. It will probably be hard, but I think it's the right thing to do. Everyone is counting on me. Roxy pulls back and takes a deep breath, a very thin breath. Her bottom lip quivers a bit when she sucks it in. She looks disappointed, though you could be misreading her, as usual. Calliope looks, well, her face is a permanently grinning skull. You'd be damned if you know what's on her mind either. I understand. No one says anything for some time. A pleasant breeze rolls down from the hills in the distance. The bell tower chimes twice. You notice that a group of Carapacians words that won't come to me right now, have stopped to stare at you with beady-eyed fascination. The front of your shirt is stained with dark, slimy patches from the meat. Christ, why did you have to eat that meat like such a slob? So, is that it? Should I, get going? If that is your decision, then yes. There's no time to lose. If the choice you have made is to matter. Calliope closes the picnic basket and stands. Roxy follows, taking Calliope's hands in her. Say goodbye. Okay then. Thanks for inviting me to this picnic. I guess I'll see you both when I get back? Neither of them reply. You look from one to the other, then back again. A large belch escapes your mouth, catching you completely off guard. The gastrointestinal ambush releases an invisible cloud of chewed-up protein odor in the public park. The gross ball of muscle roils and snarls in your belly like an unruly groundhog, prodded yet reluctant to come out to see its shadow. Ugh, why were you thinking this? Hug them, dummy. You hesitate a few awkward moments too long. When you go to hug them, they've already turned away, leaving you standing in the middle of the park, alone with your arms half raised, cupping the air. It's so pathetic that the eavesdropping Carapassians finally scurry away, overwhelmed by their secondhand embarrassment mood. You didn't even know they could get embarrassed. You drop your arms and sigh. Time to get on with it. Before you leave, you fly back home and take one last look around Salamander Village. You breathe in clean, crisp air and listen to the pipes chime, soak up unfiltered sunlight. You then head inside for a wipe down, since it feels like you've been making face-down snow angels on the floor of an ill-kept slaughterhouse. You head to your bathroom and wash all the meat off your face, but somehow you still don't feel clean. An invisible layer of oil seems to cling to almost every square inch of your body, no matter how hard you scrub. You go to your bathroom desk and dig out some stationery. Right. Dear Roxy. You've never written a note so quickly, or with such clarity of heart and mind. When you're done, you write 9 more. Your hands leave grease stains on the paper. You leave 10 envelopes on your bed, arranged in a tidy circle with the names of your 10 closest friends written on them. Then, with absolutely no fanfare, you leave all of them in this idyllic world you've created behind and zap yourself back into canon. Meet 2. Oh. Okay, we'll just leave it like that then. Bro. In the heart of the Troll Kingdom's capital city, Dave and Karkat are sitting on their couch with 1.5 feet of space between them. It's a typically picturesque day outside, but Karkat has the curtains drawn shut all the way. This is part of their compromised living situation. Dave puts up with the trollish non-Illicritan architecture and bizarre social norms, and Karkat has adjusted his diurnal schedule to, in theory, see the sun. Bro, you have got to check this out. Karkat is leaning forward, munching on chocolate-coated beetles, and totally absorbed in what he's watching. The glow from the television highlights the dark bags under his eyes. Dave reaches out and very gently pokes Karkat in the cheek. Karkat flinches out of his full-body slouch. Not now, Dave! Jake's ass is on the TV again. Stop oogling Jake's ass. This is important. Who the fuck are you to tell me whose ass I should stop oogling? Look, it's absolutely hypnotic. I mean, not in a sexual way, per se, of course. Dave casts a weary look towards the TV where Jake English is shamelessly exhibiting what is definitely his best feature in front of the TV of a live studio audience. This is a regular highlight of his and Dirk's hit television show, Rumble in the Pumpkin Patch. A schizophrenic cross-section of rap battle and robot wrestling that Rose once described as an exploitative, almost data-esque clusterfuck of circumlottery. Oh, I forgot to turn off my ringtone. Pretension and sweaty homoerotic assertion. Jake came up with the title of the show, and Dirk absolutely loathed it. However, before Dirk could insist on an alternative, Jake had already posted an online poll pitting his idea against whatever Dirk's lame idea is. Needless to say, the second option was less popular. Carcat gestures at the televised spectacle a bit helplessly. It's all the way. It's all in the way. It's being programmed by the station. Oh. It took me a while to notice because it's not like I make it a point to stay glued to this phony televised human gladiator garbage. It's soft as fuck. They rarely even try to make it seem real, Dave. Consider myself a cosmopolitan. I know that word. Come on. Individual of a man of learning. But as a native Alternian, I am fucking offended by this insulting display of namby-pamby pageantry. Anyway, the more I watch, I can't help but notice the camera's leashiest fixation on this boy's voluptuous posterior. Can't say I blame them, I guess. At least it shows they know exactly what's paying the fucking bills, because it sure as hell isn't the quality of this slam poetry. Okay, who gives a shit about that? Although it pleases me to hear you take note of the economics of the broadcast, since it is apropos to the topic at hand, but more on that later. To fucking what? I don't have time to score the latest meme, Dave. Are you coming perilously close to cutting into my important leisure time as it is? You are coming in leisure time. This is all you ever do all day. It's not a meme, it's much more important. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Hotshot, but what possibly could be more important than the latest meme? That was a joke, FYI. Now leave. Jane is running for president. What the fuck? Dave scoots a foot and a half closer so that way they can both read the news on his phone. Carcat tips his head to decide to get a better view until it bumps against Dave's shoulder. I got the announcement here. You mean President of Earth? Yeah. Why the fuck would she want to do that? I don't know. Crocker is just an ambitious woman, I guess. This sounds fucking awful. Oh, it is. It absolutely is. Also, like, don't tell her I said this, but... I think she's basically a fascist. Why would I tell her you said that? When the fuck was the last time either of us had fuck all to do with Jane? No, I know. Just like a figure of speech, I guess. Oh, also, she's a fucking xenophobe. Of course she's a xenophobe! Carcat, without drastically altering his position on the couch, turns his head so that way he can look straight at Dave. He can look Dave straight in the sunglasses. Dave, I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of humans are? Yeah, I've noticed. Also, what the fuck does she even mean she's running? What a complete load of shit. She's a god. Which one of the toady idiots on this planet would dare run against her? She's going to win in a landslide, assuming she doesn't just waltz into office uncontested. Words. Yeah, I don't disagree, which is why we have to stop her. Huh? Dave. What exactly are you saying? Are you telling me you're going to run against Dave, Jane? Dave runs against himself. That could happen, actually. Carcat's laughter is uproarious, incredulous. He reaches for another beetle as his goffs aside, and eats it in a manner he hopes will convey his casual contempt for Dave's insinuation. Are you out of your fucking mind? Do you have any idea how rich she is? Dude, we're all rich. We, like, invented the fucking economy. Yeah, well, yeah, but not, like, Crocker rich. Anyway, no. I'm not running. You are. Karkat stops chewing his beetle and does a literal spit take right into Dave's face. Me? Yeah, man. It's perfect. You're the ideal opponent to take her down. And to be honest, just what this planet needs. No, I'm not. Yeah, we established this. How many years ago? I'm not a leader. I was never meant to be one. Jane probably is, although to be fair, I'm agreeing with you. She's a complete asshole. I'm just not the one to run an effective opposition campaign where I wouldn't even know where to start. Obviously, you wouldn't do it on your own. I would help. I'd be like your campaign manager or chief strategy guy or whatever. Also, you're wrong. You were meant to be a leader and you'd be a good one. Just not the kind of leader you always thought you'd be. Not a bellicose, conquering dickhead who commands fear and respect. Just a guy who is cool and nice and actually cares about stuff and people love them for that reason. People don't love me. You're breaking my heart, dude. BRB, gotta hit the toilet for this quick power sob. Shut the fuck up. It still amazes me how little awareness you genuinely seem to have of how insanely popular you are on this planet. It's fucking adorable. You're wrong. All I see is Jake on TV, and Jane on the news, stories about her stupid business, and Dirk doing whatever fucked up shit he's doing with his celebrity presence. I see your mug a lot too, Mr. fucking political puppet master. You'd get more votes than me, and you know it. You're probably just a coward. You only see famous humans on TV because you just avoid all the Troll Kingdom channels deliberately. You hate it whenever you see yourself on TV. Don't pretend I don't notice you changing to channels as fast as possible whenever you see yourself. Yeah, well, maybe I... Karkat hesitates, then slouches back onto the couch cushions, restoring the customary foot and a half space he and Dave usually keep between them. Except for when watching horror movies, eating chips, or talking about the 600 stupid things Karkat saw earlier that day because he made his intrepid annual decision to go outside. Maybe I don't actually like being famous, and maybe that's as good as a fucking reason as any not to run for a fucking presidency of Earth. Not to mention, the idea of an election is kind of a fucked up and weird thing for me culturally anyways, and I'm still kind of getting used to the idea that people can just choose their fucking leaders and not have the same old merciless bitch in power for several million years. Well, what better way to acquaint yourself with democracy than to take a crack at the high office yourself? Dude, seriously, you would absolutely kill it with the troll voting bloc. Entire kingdom would vote for you. They'd go ballistic if they heard a troll actually had the guts to run against Jane, let alone one of their heroes. And frankly, just between you and me, Jane is... How do I put this? What? Okay. I'll just be the one to come out and say it. She's going to be a fucking disaster for the economy. I guess I have to admit, part of this, for me personally, it's... What are you saying, Dave? It's about Obama. Hello, Obama. Karkat... Very slowly, Karkat raises his right palm and forcefully unites it with his own face. He barely even got a chance to prove himself. He was sworn into office and it was cool and everything. And everything was going to be great, but then everyone died a few months later because of meteorites. Dude was just getting warmed up. So sad. I wonder if he would have fixed the economy. I bet he would have fixed the economy. Dave, as much as I enjoy listening to you ramble through yet another chapter of your freestyle Obama fanfiction, don't you already have the basis for knowing how his presidency would have gone? I mean, wasn't he the president in the timeline Jane grew up into? Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, of course I know that. I just don't like to think about it. I just don't like to think much about that timeline. Does it really feel like it's... It doesn't really feel like it's canon. Didn't some clowns take over the world or something? I don't want to talk about it. The point is, in the world that mattered more, I mean like the one I belong to that I use to imagine has real future. And that doesn't involve meteors, or a fish dictator, or an American political landscape turning into a nightmarish daily joke. I still wonder what could have been. If the old man could have saved us all. But instead, he died, probably. Or maybe not. Maybe there was like an escape house in the White House that led to his own secret presidential section of suburb. What if he's just chilling there now? Dave, I think we've covered your Obama secret session of suburb theory well enough already. I know. I was just saying is all. It's a beautiful dream. I fucking get it. But yeah, it's more likely he just died. But maybe it doesn't have to be. Oh, I lost my place. There it is. In vain. Maybe it doesn't have to be in vain. What if he died for our sins or something? Sounds fucking meaningless. Yeah, but I mean, like, what if, like, he could be reborn? Yes, we've been over your Obama god tier headcanons too. No, like, reborn as you, metaphorically. You could be the great president he never got to be. You could give the people hope and shit and inspire trolls everywhere, or really all non-human kingdoms. Show them anybody could be a president, not just an endless parade of rich humans who think they all know what's best for everyone. Dave, I'm pretty sure anyone could be president. It always seems to me that humans just seem to be more naturally ambitious, and that's why the power structures took the shape that they did the last few millennia. I mean, I don't claim to be an expert of xenopsychology, but for some reason I struggle to imagine a fucking salamander getting a gumption to throw his crumpled hat into the ring for presidency of Earth. Or the Carapacians, for that matters. These are not ambitious creatures we were talking about here, Dave. They're a huge flock of wool beasts, Dave. Karkat, don't stereotype. Remember the mayor? Remember how at one point a long time ago he raised an army and rebelled against an evil king? Oh yeah, somehow I always forget he did that. Kind of mind-boggling, really. Holy shit, I missed the mayor. Me too. Dave and Karkat both observe a moment of silence and a delicate and trembling pause of utmost respect to perhaps the greatest and purest being who had ever come forth from Paradox Space. Karkat pats Dave pats Karkat's knee confidently, and Karkat lets out a quivering breath of sorrow of remembrance. Into reverent silence, Dave says. I think he would totally be in favor of my idea, by the way. He loved democracy. No shit, he was a fucking mayor! I mean, forget all the lizards and chess guys for a second. Just imagine the good he could do for the troll kingdom. You would do a much better job of speaking to the injustices troll's face than Jane would. What injustices? Dude, please, where do you even begin? I know Earthsea has generally been a pretty chill place to live, but there's some shit going on that's legit creepy. All this population regulation bullshit, that's been going on since we basically set up civilization and pieced out to the future. When you think about it, its long-term consequence, it's been fucking weird. Like a government being responsible for troll reproduction through cloning. A government that just so happens to be prominently human most of the time. Like, it makes sense on paper at first. No mother grub, gotta keep the race going and expand population for a good while and get the numbers up. Until Kanaya gets here and hatches a grub, and then I guess the system of natural reproduction can take over in theory, but after so many centuries of that shit, doesn't the weird political imbalance, like, get entrenched? There's a measure of weird concern and passion making its way into Dave's voice. Karkat, despite his typical front of loud hangs on every word. And once Rose and Kanaya crank out a few more broods in the caverns, I guess we're supposed to think it's all fixed, right? Back to trolls as usual or something. But do you really think the human kingdom is just going to sit back and let the troll race proliferate wildly all over Earth? Turn it into another Altarian empire? Folks know the history. They know the constants and all the violence and the hemospectrum and shit. They're scared to death at the possibility that trolls could run wild all over the planet. Dave, I know all of this. In fact, you know all of this because you've heard me say it to Kanaya 1,000 times. Actually, in an effort not to go fucking insane, I try not to think about it anymore. Well, maybe it's time you should start thinking about it again. Bro, did you know sitting on the sidelines in the face of oppression is tantamount to siding with the oppressor? Is tantamount to a siding with the oppressors? Ugh. You think Crocker administration is really going to go through the plains to deregulate troll breeding? She knows exactly what her base wants. I can already see the dog whistles in the press release. She isn't gonna do shit. But really, man, if nothing else, and I truly mean nothing, please, for the love of Christ, think of the economy. Ugh! The outburst is all Carcat can do to release whatever tension Dave's impassioned appeal was causing it to brew inside of him. Motherfucker literally just told him to think of the economy. Jane has this reputation for being awesome at business, but in my opinion, she actually just sucks. She doesn't seem to even be remotely aware of how she's leveraged her status as a god to become a big shot trillionaire. I think she thinks it's all pure business acumen, and I think she doesn't really know what she's doing. Fuckers left and right just be tripping all day long to give her money hand over first. Of course, she's gonna milk her biz cred for all it's worth in the election. She's probably a much better politician than a businesswoman, actually. She is, like, sinister as fuck. I mean, she hides it well, don't get me wrong. Also, she isn't too hard on the eyes, which won't hurt her chances one bit. But she's going to be brutal on their pocketbooks. Just you wait. I don't fucking believe this. She doesn't know the nuisance of sound comprehensive financial policy like I do. My skills are fucking legendary. I manipulate the stock market to assume control of the literal majority of all the currency on the planet at once. Guaranteed the economy was run by lobotomized reptiles, but still... Wait. That was specious. Sorry. The point still stands, though. I know what I'm doing. What do you think is going to happen when Jane takes over and the economy crashes? I don't know. It's going to be pandemonium. Will it actually, though? Well, I don't know. Okay, if shit goes sideways, I guess we aren't going to see, like, tragic braggedy turtles and pauper chessmen standing in bread lines or anything. That's just the nature of alchemy-based post-security economies. The depressions tend to be pretty mild. But it will still be bad. A healthy economy is fucking important. If for no other reason, I slow down and I can't read. If for no other reason, then it protects the societal context of what it means to be fucking rich like us. Just a thought. Let's come up with a different campaign slogan than that, okay? Yeah. But the point is just, I guess, she sucks and shouldn't be the president in the end. You don't even have to think about the economy shit. I can do that for you. I'll be like the treasury secretary or something. Just please tell me you'll do this. Do it for the trolls. Do it for the economy. Do it for the mayor. But most of all, Dave wipes an invisible tear from beneath the rim of his sunglasses. Do it for Obama. God damn it, Dave. I really don't give a fuck about politics or being a leader anymore, and I think you know that. I don't care about the economy, and while I'm sure this Obama fellow was a hell of a guy, I couldn't give less a fuck about him either, but I do care about you, Dave smiles. So, I'll do it. Why not? Nice! Oh yeah, you won't regret this. This is gonna be dope. I think we have a great shot too. With my political savvy and economic genius and outrageous flair for the subversive anti-established messaging and propaganda, and your big loud fucking mouth. What the fuck? I guess also your charisma and likability and shit. Yeah, you might be right. I'm pretty sure I can fake those things as well enough. Oh, also, your weirdly sincere humility. I prefer the term self-loathing, actually. Me too. Okay, let's try to avoid these phases on the campaign trail too. This already sounds like a pain in the ass. There's a gap of silence in the conversation, long enough for the audio of the television to become noticeable. Jink is rambling out a truly dire piece of slam poetry that involves with zero hint of irony. The terms of Batty Fang and mad as hops. The neon light blaring out and from the screen casts long waves of colors along the back wall of the hive and bounces off the glass of frame print of Dave's least psychologically revealing SBAH strip. Karkat sighs and rubs the space between his horns. Can't I just read a bunch of bullshit you write for me off a teleprompter? Yeah, there will be definitely plenty of that. Dave grabs his tablet off the shelf and he pivots back around and points the pen straight at Karkat. The arc of his arm motion is polished and decisive, and even though it's been a long time since he's properly used a sword. But you also need to be natural and speak from the heart and shit. Just like, talk to your people about stuff they care about. My people? You mean trolls? Oh, yeah, I guess that sounded bad, sorry. But, yeah, exactly, trolls. That's gonna be your base so you can rile them up, inspire them. I don't think you need any fancy speeches to do that, so you'll be a natural. If you say so. So, what do we exactly do? I mean, next. Dave plops down on the floor and gestures for Karkat to join him on the cold stone. He swipes his tablet on and taps the screen with the pen. Karkat lies down on his stomach and props his chin in his palm so he can watch Dave scribble political ambitions directly in the shittiest paint program on his OS. Time to talk strategy. We need to rally up as much high-profile support we can. We need to rally as much high-profile support to our cause as we can. But there are some lines of loyalty to figure out. What? I mean, which of our friends are going to side with us and which ones will side with Jane? Pretty much all of us are famous and popular all over the earth to some degree. Some of us more so with certain kingdoms than others. So some key endorsements going either way could swing the whole election. Oh great. So it all comes down to how many famous humans like me. Better than Jane. We're fucked. Well, no, not so fast. Let's think this through. You'll have overwhelming support in the Troll Kingdom, and so does Kanaya. She's pretty much a lock to be on your side. Durgan virtually is just as much as a lock for Jane, I'm gonna guess. But after that, it's kind of a free-for-all. Roxy and Calliope will probably be neutral. They have a lot of pull with the Carpassians, though, so that's going to be a nice score to sway them. Rose will probably claim neutrality at first, but I'm betting she can be corralled by her wife to our side. And once we get Rose, converting Roxy probably won't be too hard. As for Jade, they stare at each other. Karkat sighs and Dave wraps his pen against the tablet screen in slow, uneven staccato. I think it's fair to say she's going to be on our side. Yeah, maybe a little too much. Yeah. I wasn't going to be the one to say it, but yeah, I get what you mean. Of course, we want her help and her endorsement. And her endorsement will go a long way, but I think we got a sort of, like, a hierarchy approach to campaign strategy. Keep it organized and disciplined with roles well defined. Let's not let things too murky with personal shit. I think we're on the same page here, Dave. Okay, cool. Anyways, let's come back to the Jade issue later. Let's see. Let's see who else. Egbert? Right. John should easily be convinced, but I'm not sure how much of a factor he'll be in the campaign. Have no idea how long he'll be away on the mission Rose mentioned. What? What mission? Don't know. She's been hella cagey about it. Swore me to secrecy until the right time, whenever that is. Anyway, his endorsement would go a long way to in swinging the consort kingdom. That would be huge. Aren't there like 100 billion of those fuckers? Securing that vote block should be able to win the whole thing for us. Well, no, population isn't that big, but yes, it's by far the most populous kingdom. Swinging them our way should help a lot and won't be enough to decide the whole thing. Consorts overwhelm the other kingdoms in sheer numbers, but due to the unscrupulous gerrymandering, all kinds of fucked up voter suppressing policies and some electoral counterbalancing measures to account for their ridiculous population growth rate, their voting power per capita is kind of pathetic. I did not expect this chapter to go into politics. Also, it's hard to drive turnout. This may come as a shock, but legions of easily distracted, low-informed amphibians primarily concerned with eating bugs and farming goddamn mushrooms aren't the most political motivated demographic. Yeah. Hiccups. So, to get them out to the polls, we'll need to get them really excited. Okay? I guess I'll have to trust your expertise on that, since I don't know the first fucking thing about how to inspire an unintelligent lizard. Yeah, well, I don't either. That brings us to Jake. Jake's butt flexes on television as if in response. Cat cannot avoid watching it from the corner of his eye. Oh fuck. No, this is important. Jake is a huge wild card here. I'm sure his endorsement would be completely up for grabs. He could go any way, including just getting turned off by the whole thing and staying apolitical. So we have to be careful about how we approach him. Jake is the only one of us who's widely popular in all four kingdoms. Well, I can't argue with that. Yeah, so an endorsement from him would be huge. Seriously, just running one ad of him doing his double pistol winking bullshit with the thing under it saying vote Carcat might just be enough to win the whole election. Just have to get the fickle bastard to agree with that, which could be tricky. And honestly, I'd be shocked if Jane hasn't already started courting his vote. There's no way she doesn't understand political stakes. So it all comes down to the Jake stakes then. Pretty much. The Jake stakes 2.0. What? There's a 1.0? When did that happen? Oh, that's like a whole story. No. Is this going to be another anecdote about the Jake squad I don't care about and don't want to fucking hear? That sounds like the exact kind of opinion you'd have on it, so yeah. Then I don't want to fucking hear about it. Okay. Shit. Hold up. What? Dave fishes his phone from his lap. Dirk's calling me. What the fuck does he want? I don't know. He just calls me out of the blue from time to time to talk shit. Usually about nothing whatsoever. He'll probably joke about how he needs me to cut off his head. Huh? It's a running gag. He's been running into the ground for years. Motherfucker's dedicated to his memes. I'll give him that. You said he's going to be at Crocker Loyalist, right? Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it. You don't think he's trying to do some reconnaissance work here, like intel gathering? He doesn't even know you're entering the race yet. No one does. Okay, good. I guess you'd better answer then. Okay, well, I missed the call while bullshitting about it. But yeah, I'll call him back now. Dave hits the callback button. On television, Dirk's phone begins ringing. Sup? Hey, dude. Dave hears a reply through his phone, and then a moment later, through the TV due to the broadcasting delay. The whole show has stopped, so Dirk can take his call. The camera zooms in on where he's usually lying on the mat, bruised and a bit bloody. In the background, Jake strikes an attractive cocked hip pose. He's spinning a revolver around in one finger, affecting an aura of attractive difference, but he looks like he's shooting his sparring partner. But the look he's shooting his sparring partner gets caught halfway between confused and exasperated. Karkat looks from Dave to TV and back again. Got your sword handy? Always. Good. See, I'm sort of in a bind here, and I'm afraid there's only one way out. Okay, I'm fucking leaving. Oh. Cliffhanger! Because it's been 40 minutes and I have been messing up like crazy. But, yeah. Wonder what's gonna happen in the next chapter. But that's it for today's stories. If you liked the video, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already to join our wonderful galaxy. Comment down below and I'll get back to you in some way or another. And I will see you for our next adventure. Remember, we're all made of the same cosmic dust, so be nice. Kate, love you. Bye!